Kendrick Lamar Duckworth was born on June 17, 1987, in Compton, California. He is the first child of Kenneth "Kenny" Duckworth, a former gang hustler who previously worked at KFC, and Paula Oliver, a hairdresser who previously worked at McDonald's. Both of his parents are African Americans from the South Side of Chicago. When they were teenagers, they relocated to Compton in 1984, due to his father's affiliation with the Gangster Disciples. Lamar was named after singer-songwriter Eddie Kendricks of The Temptations. He was an only child until the age of 7 and was described as a loner by his mother. Eventually, his parents had his 2 younger brothers and younger sister, businesswoman Kayla Sawyer, née Duckworth. His cousins include basketball player Nick Young and rapper Baby Keem. Lamar and his family lived in Section 8 housing, were reliant on welfare and food stamps, and experienced homelessness. Although he is not a member of a particular gang, he grew up with close affiliates of the West Side Pirates. Despite suffering hardships, Lamar remembered having good memories of his childhood that sparked his interest in hip-hop music, such as sneaking into his parents' house parties. He was raised secular, although he occasionally attended church services and was taught the Bible by his grandmother. He felt spiritually unsatisfied as a child due to the empty and one-sided nature of the sermons. After hearing a recording of his voice for the first time, Lamar became interested in rapping. He was introduced to police brutality after experiencing the first day of the 1992 Los Angeles riots. When he was 5 years old, he witnessed a murder for the first time while sitting outside of his apartment unit, as a teenage drug dealer was killed in a drive-by shooting. "It done something to me right then and there," Lamar later admitted to NPR Music. "It let me know that this is not only something that I'm looking at, but it's something that maybe I have to get used to." His parents nicknamed him Man Man due to his precocious behavior, although he confessed it put a stigma on the idea of me reacting as a kid sometimes. I would hurt myself and they would expect me not to cry. In school, Lamar was a quiet and observant student who excelled academically and had a noticeable stutter. His first-grade teacher at Robert E. McNair Elementary School encouraged him to become a writer after she heard him correctly use the word audacity. As a 7th-grade student at Vanguard Learning Center, Lamar was introduced to poetry by his English teacher, Regis Inga. Inga integrated the literary form into his curriculum as a response to the growing racial tensions amongst his students. Through its connection to hip-hop, Lamar studied rhymes, metaphors and double entendres, which made him fall in love with songwriting. "You can put all your feelings down on a sheet of paper, and they'd make sense to you. I liked that." Instead of completing assignments for other classes, Lamar would scribe lyrics in his notebooks. His initial writing was entirely profane, but it helped him manage his psychological trauma and depression, which he struggled with during his adolescence. Inga played a vital role in his intellectual growth, often critiquing his lexicon and suggesting prompts to strengthen his prose. Lamar later attended Centennial High School. He was enrolled in summer school during the 10th grade, which he dreaded because it forced him to be embroiled in a gang war. Despite his efforts to avoid them, Lamar soon became heavily involved with Compton's hedonistic gang culture, which led to numerous health scares and encounters with the police. He distanced himself from the lifestyle following an intervention staged by his father. When he was 16, he was baptized and converted to Christianity following the death of a friend. Lamar entered a lasting romantic relationship with his high school sweetheart, Whitney Alford. His sexual addiction and repeated infidelity caused numerous difficulties within their on and off relationship. Lamar graduated from Centennial High School in 2005 as a straight-A student. He flirted with the idea of studying psychology and astronomy in college, but suspended his academic pursuits to focus on his music career. During high school, Lamar adopted the stage name K. and began freestyling and battle rapping at school. His performances caught the attention of fellow student Dave Free, who traveled from Inglewood to watch him rap. They quickly formed a friendship over their love of hip-hop and the television sitcom Martin. They recorded music together at Free's makeshift garage studio and at his older brother's Hyde Park apartment. Lamar's earliest performances were held at a super hood comedy club and behind a tattoo parlor. Free was his hype man during that time, while his older brother was his manager and disc jockey. Lamar recorded 5 mixtapes throughout the 2000s, his first, Youngest Head Nigga in Charge, Hub City Threat, Minor of the Year, was released on April 15, 2003, through Concrete Jungle Music. The mixtapes primarily consisted of freestyles over the production of popular hip-hop songs. In a series of retrospective reviews for Rolling Stone, Mosi Reeves complimented Lamar's unerring sense of rhythm and timing found in Hub City Threat, Minor of the Year, but criticized his clumsy lyricism and that his flow was overly beholden to Jay-Z and Lil Wayne. Free, who was working as a computer technician, introduced the mixtape to record producer Anthony "Top Dog" Tiffith while attempting to repair his computer. Tiffith was impressed with Lamar's burgeoning abilities and invited him to partake in an audition process for entry into his newly established independent record label, Top Dog Entertainment, TDE. During his audition, Lamar freestyled for Tiffith and record executive Terrence "Punch" Henderson for 2 hours, a strategy that impressed Henderson but bewildered Tiffith. He was offered a recording contract by TDE in 2005, joining J-Rock as the label's first signings. Upon signing, he purchased a minority stake in the label for an undisclosed amount. Lamar had a brief stint as a security guard when he started working on music with J-Rock at TDE's in-house recording studio. The bond he formed with him, Absol and Schoolboy Q, led to the formation of the hip-hop supergroup, Black Hippie. Lamar released his second mixtape, Training Day, on December 30, 2005. Reeves complimented its varied production and well-executed concept, which was based on the 2001 film of the same name. In 2006, Lamar signed an artist development deal with Def Jam Recordings and was featured on 2 singles by The Game. He also heavily contributed to J-Rock's first 2 mixtapes, What's Finest Volume 1 and What's Finest Volume 2, The Nickerson Files. Lamar was ultimately let go from Def Jam after an encounter with its president and chief executive officer, Jay-Z. He later described it as, "one of those situations where I wasn't ready." Lamar and J-Rock released a collaborative mixtape, titled No Sleep Till NYC, on December 24, 2007. Reeves declared the project as a fun cypher session, nothing more, nothing less. Lamar's conflict with Drake re-escalated in March 2024 with his surprise appearance on Future and Metro Boomin's track, Like That. The song spent 3 consecutive weeks atop the Billboard Hot 100, becoming Lamar's third #1 single and his first song to debut at the top spot. From April to May, he released the Drake-aimed diss singles Euphoria, 616 in LA, Meet the Grahams, and Not Like Us, all of which were either positively received or acclaimed by critics. The latter installment marked the first rap song to lead the Hot 100 with a limited tracking week. A celebratory one-off concert, titled The Pop Out, Ken and Friends, was held on Juneteenth. On September 8, 2024, it was announced that Lamar would headline the Super Bowl 59 halftime show, marking the first time a rapper has led the performance as a solo act. 3 days later, on September 11, he released an untitled surprise song to his Instagram. Outside of music, Lamar starred in the animated documentary film Piece by Piece, 2024. He signed on to produce a comedy feature with Free, Trey Parker and Matt Stone for Paramount Pictures, which is slated to be released on July 4, 2025.